I'm here at the Columbia Gorge Hotel, one of the Northwest's most distinguished wedding venues, and I'm very excited to walk you through it today. Let's take a look together. Now, this is a venue with a really rich history. It was built in the beginning of the 20th century to be kind of a Waldorf of the West. What you have here is a ton of infrastructure for a full wedding day. You have blocks of hotel rooms where your guests can stay, and then everything you need for the actual ceremony reception is all on site here. We're on over 7 acres of land. There are 3 different lawns that you can choose from, and then there's a ballroom as a contingency if it starts raining. They really think of everything. This is not something that you get with every Columbia Gorge venue. Oftentimes you're either having to shuttle guests in or you're having to find separate accommodations because maybe you're getting married at a barn or some sort of small venue. Not here. This is one of the top places that you can host a true luxury wedding. There are all kinds of beautiful features on this property, like fountains. There's an actual waterfall. And right now, I want to show you the parking lot, which is not where I would typically start a tour video, but a lot of venues that are this close to the river do not have the kind of access that this one does. All of your guests can come and park on site. They don't need to be shuttled in. In fact, they don't even need separate accommodations because you can do a room block on site. And that's just a really, really nice feature to have when you're bringing people this far out of town for a view that's this epic. Now, like I said, there are really no 2 weddings that are exactly alike at the Columbia Gorge Hotel. And the reason for that is because of the diversity of spaces available. This is one of 3 lawns where you can have your reception, a cocktail hour. This is called the front lawn. And as you can see, we're surrounded with all of this greenery, and then we have the hotel in the background. You can have up to 250 people on this lawn for your wedding. And this is one of my favorite spots on the entire property. Now, maybe you're not planning to have 250 guests come out and you want to do something a little bit more intimate. Well, across the stone bridge behind me, we have this beautiful east lawn. It's a similar setting. There's tons of foliage, Tuscan-style architecture behind me, but it's just a little bit smaller, so it can feel fuller with a smaller guest count. Now, these 2 lawns make up some of the most beautiful scenery in the entire property, but there's one more spot that I want to show you. It's kind of the grand reveal of it all, the point lawn. Let's take a look at that next. Now, the view behind me here on the point lawn is what most people come for. This is a sweeping panoramic view of the entire river gorge, and this is where you can have a wedding ceremony. I'm always really excited when couples choose this spot because I know that the footage and the views are going to be out of this world. Now, for various reasons, an indoor space may be preferable on the wedding day. You could have unexpected weather, it could be raining, it could be too hot, or maybe you just want to mix it up a little bit. And that's why we have this beautiful ballroom. This is the Benson Ballroom on the base level of the Columbia Gorge Hotel. You can have up to 120 people in here for dinner and for dancing. And right outside is a beautiful terrace. Let's take a look at that next. Directly outside of the Benson Ballroom, we have this really pretty Benson Ballroom terrace. This is a really great spot to have a cocktail hour, and the views, well, they speak for themselves. Now, another beautiful indoor space upstairs is this speakeasy called the Falls Room. This is great for a cocktail hour, or if you're doing a micro wedding, you can have your entire reception right inside of this space. Now, another option you have at the Columbia Gorge Hotel is to rent out the entire hotel so that all of your guests can stay in one place. And with that comes the reservation of the entire restaurant, plus they can waive the noise ordinance and you can party until midnight. Now, the Columbia Gorge Hotel is host to 42 beautiful chic rooms just like this, as well as a ready room for your wedding morning. So there's plenty of space for you and all of your guests. Now, of the various spaces inside of this hotel, one of my favorites is the Valentino Lounge here. This makes for a really beautiful spot for you to sign your marriage license, and there's just a ton of cool different places where your guests can hang out and socialize with one another. Now, one of my favorite features of this entire hotel is where I recommend that couples go for their golden hour session. Upstairs, there's an incredible tower with a view of the entire estate. Here on top of the tower is one of my favorite places to take couples for their sunset session. The Columbia Gorge Hotel is easily one of the most historic, beautiful, and epic venues that you can choose out in the Hood River area. If you're thinking about getting married here, we will link them in the description below. And while you're at it, check out A Beautiful Union. We're a film house based out of Portland, and we do weddings and elopements all over the West Coast and beyond. In fact, here's a video that we just shot at this venue.